It might just be the original trickle-down economics. Boxing Day, depending on whether you observe it casually as the 26th of December or in the more orthodox sense of the first business day after Christmas in years like this when Big Day falls on a Saturday. That's right, wouldn't want to screw up the weekend for the Boojees now, would we? I think the day has kind of evolved into the day of rebox and return for those gifts that maybe didn't quite hit the big G spot. No, not that one. I'm talking about the gratitude spot. Or, for the sake of argument, let's say you get a duplicate item as a gift, and you don't need that second motor bunny. No reason to wait for store credit on something like that, especially during a supply chain crisis. Talk about first world problems. I mean, really. More traditionally, I suppose the day itself was set aside for the middle class and the servant folk to, get a box of something or other from their well-to-do employers, take it home and actually spend some time with their own families. I'm assuming that these same employers had relied on said servants for the entirety of the weekend and wait on them for their festivities. Didn't spend hours researching it, just doing a little common sense math on that one. Not to be left out, the church was also reported to leverage the day off for some PR with the poor. I guess they'd go about distributing boxes to the skid rows of their parishes on the day after Christmas, and why not? Why not feed the plebes? I mean, after all, the big-time donors for the congregation would have been at home on that day fending for themselves and not filling the coffers. Might as well make the most of it after all. Yeah, you can call me out on it. Yeah, it's a pretty cynical take even for 2021. Yeah, what am I saying? That's not even close to cynical for this year. I did watch a George Carlin and a Dennis Miller special back to back last night, and I'd have you consider that there's some cognitive dissonance that remains unresolved for me. Not asking for forgiveness, I'm just letting you know where I'm at. Maybe, though, there's something to it that's altogether altruistic and really about sharing the wealth and the riches of Christmas with those less fortunate. I mean, whether you and I are the oppressors or not, maybe it's not just about getting rid of the crap that we have left over from last year and giving it away in the new boxes that we got this year. It is easy to go down that class warfare route, though, isn't it, with this kind of narrative? And whether or not you got snow on Christmas, it's certainly at risk of becoming a slippery slope. I can't speak for everyone, and most days I can barely speak for myself, not so as you'd notice, but there's got to be a balance when it comes to these things. See, there are people in the world who do the right thing for the wrong reasons, just the same as there are those who do the wrong thing for the right reasons. Most of us, I think, try to do the right thing for the right reason, whether it appears to others that way or not. Screw them. They don't know your heart, friend. And if they won't take the time to talk with you, it's not worth the effort. Likewise, our friends in the Boojee class have their motivations too, and we might be equally cautious in assigning intent to them. After all, think of your favorite non-religious charity. Got one in mind? Good. What do they do? Is it saving missing and exploiting children? Is it saving the whales or the polar bears? I mean, we could go on and on listing out charities doing honorable work, and I'm sure that we could name some doing things that you or I disagree with. But at the end of the day, and on the other side of the pen that writes those checks, probably 100 or 1,000 people that you and I might consider Boojees, who are the ones writing those checks. We may not like it, and we may not agree with how they go about it, but to the extent that charities and nonprofits do good work, there are generally wealthy people behind them as donors. See, nonprofits don't exist without for-profit organizations and entrepreneurs funding them. Period. You've got my take. What say you?